So, one of the things that people really struggle with when they're starting a business is how to price their service. Um, and you don't kind of set your pricing and then that's it forevermore. So, what I want to do is explain the best way to price your service when you're starting your business, and then what you do regarding your pricing as you grow. This is really, really important, especially in the UK, because you've got to bear in mind things like staffing, how much staffing is going to cost you, dreaded VAT, which is 90, sorry, it's the cap is at £90,000 of revenue. You're going to get charged VAT on that as soon as you go over the £90,000 threshold. So you've always got to bear that in mind. But obviously, when you first start out, you've just got to start getting some work in. So at the beginning, when you start your business, what I would do is contact any companies that are running your same service. So as an example, when I started my cleaning business, I got several different quotes from several different companies, from freelancers, and then I was able to kind of look at the market and see what was being charged. So as an example, here in the UK, you could have freelancers that were charging anywhere from, say, £14 an hour. This is 2020, let's say 2024 pricing, because I did this last year, where they were charging £14, £15 an hour for a freelancer, up to, I could not believe it when I got Molly made out and they wanted to charge me £120 for my home and the area, because I only have a part clean of my house anyway. I know that it takes 2 hours because I've had cleaners in the past. I knew it was a 2 hour clean, so I'm like, crikey. That was with VAT, and I worked out that they were actually charging me £55 per man hour. So there you go. It's almost like the Wild West with pricing. But that's the difference, you see. So when it's a freelancer, very often they're kind of on a race to the bottom with their pricing. They don't realise how valuable their service is. To be fair, they're not as professional, so they're not necessarily going to have, relevant checks and relevant insurance. They haven't got anyone overseeing them, and they're not presenting themselves as a legitimate branded company. And that's the difference between being a freelancer and then running this actually properly as a business. And this is why Molly Maid is able to charge those prices. And they've charged it like that because they run vehicles. They've got a business model where obviously Molly Maid themselves takes their cut. Then they've got franchisees who are business operators under that. And then they've got all their staff. So they've got a lot of costs that they have to pay out for. But by the looks of that pricing, they're probably making a really good profit too. So what you want to do when you're starting out, after you've got those first few prices, you're trying different things, go out to companies and then put posts out on Facebook and see what freelancers are charging, right? Then you want to try and get some work in where, do you know what, even if you're doing it for free, go and do it for free. You could maybe find people on Facebook or family and friends. So say, like, if you're starting a painting and decorating service, you could offer to do some work for the friends or family, do the designated room. And what you're going to do there is, don't ever think, oh, I'm working for free, this isn't worth it. No, there is going to be so much value in doing this piece of work for you to start your business, because what you want to get then is, you're looking for a video testimonial or reviews or both, from your family member. So you could say, look, I'm offering this, I want to start my business. Would you be up for letting me decorate that room that you want? I'm going to do lots of photos, I'm going to do videos, and then could I do a video interview with you afterwards and then get a review? Either, like if you were starting on your Facebook group. So that is absolutely the best way to do it. Of course, people are going to want free service in their home. I actually didn't go straight and do it for free because I had done cleaning before. And I knew that I could get clients in. So I actually just went straight out to get clients, and I went out on just quite a low fee. And then literally after like getting the second client, I was like, right, I'll put my prices up like immediately. So that's kind of how you want to start. And then sooner rather than later, when you start seeing the proof of the pudding, you know, that you are getting this working, you're also getting better at what you're doing. You can then start putting your prices up. Okay. If you're a freelancer and if you're just sticking to, I'm just putting a post on Facebook, you're only ever going to hit a ceiling in terms of what you can charge, because people will not see you really as professional. It's going to be seen as very gig economy, and you're not a branded company. Now, I've just done a previous video, actually, it's just the last one that I've just done, on the importance of branding your business. That if you decide to really take this seriously, you set up as a proper business, you register with Companies House, you get your insurance, you have a website, you're branded, you've got your logo, you're then starting to actually present as a much more professional company. Even if you're doing the exact same service, it's the kind of value proposition of you actually care more. You do just look more professional, and that's where you can really start putting your prices up. So I've put my prices up several times now, and I've just done it again. So I've just done another rebrand that I spoke about on my last video, where previously all my promotional information, it was very professionally done. So it was all done with our specific brand and our specific colouring and our logo and all this kind of thing. But it was a kind of a utility vibe. It was like utility cleaning, you know, where I had photos of, you know, people with rubber gloves and look, here's a dirty tap, here's a clean one. And I was like, no, this is not what I want to present. I want a much more higher end service, because all of the people that we are catering for are more discerning clients. They're kind of in executive homes, they're in luxury homes. And my branding didn't speak to that. So now I've rebranded on my website. The colours as well are much more, you know, like with a rich royal blue, and that kind of, I don't know what you call it, it's like an aqua green together. It just looks richer. It just looks more opulent in terms of like a branded offering. And so I've been able to put my pricing up as well, where it's like now in alignment. So I offer a premium cleaning service for high-end, you know, clients that are in luxury homes that are really looking for something special, and where pricing isn't necessarily the most important thing to them. Then you might get, for example, cleaning companies where they're on the race to the bottom with their pricing, and then you see the kind of utility of their branding where it's like blue and white, you know, cheap, 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 price, 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 low, low, low. You don't have to price yourself like that. And actually, companies can run better if you price you offer a premium service and you offer a premium price, because I tell you what, you will always find the clients that want a premium service and they're willing to pay that for it. So that's just my little check-in today about how you price your service. And that when you say, like, if you're doing painting and decorating, for example, well, you might not get the same client again for another 6 months, and then you can show, like, you can increase your prices, because if they're coming back to you, you've already given your value in terms of, like, they liked you, they liked the work that you did, they trusted you, they want you back. Then you can actually charge a higher price for your services. And I've literally, the reason why I'm actually doing this video right now is that I actually had a client trying to negotiate their initial fee for their first clean. And I went back and I explained why we charge this for the first clean, and why it was worth it, and why it's related to our value proposition. And we do charge premium prices for a premium service. And I'm proud of that. You know, I'm never going to say, oh, the price is too high, oh, I need to drop it. Because where you need to get to is, you never want to have a business where you're so cheap everyone's saying yes. Yeah, because then you've undervalued your service. What you want to do is keep increasing your prices until you get to the point where it's what the market will bear, right? And what the market will bear is that you are converting your clients at around 50 to 60%. And that is then you are properly priced. If you close at 99% or 90% or even 80%, you're like, oh, this is great, I'm getting loads of customers. That's not good for you in the long run, running a business, because it's proof that you could be charging more, and you just perhaps need to go out and see some more clients and get the clients that are right for you. So I'm now at this stage, because too many people were saying yes, even when I put my prices up to a level where I thought no one would ever say yes to it. I was really nervous about doing it, but I knew that I needed to price at that to factor in things like VAT and staffing. And actually the cost of running the business. It's expensive to run a business when you put everything together. And now I've gone past that because I need to generate more profit to be able to, this isn't about pricing to just squeeze as much as you can out of the customer. The higher you can pay to acquire a customer on Google or something like that, you're winning, right? And the way you can pay more to acquire a customer is because each customer has a greater lifetime value when you have increased prices. Increased prices as well also means, so say like for where I'm at and what I'm doing, there are lots of cleaning companies out there. Cleaning is simple. It's like, but the thing that I'm offering is the high quality, high standard. And for that, I need to do lots of training and I need to recruit the right people. And it's a really difficult and arduous and very expensive process. And I need to be paid for it. Yeah. So to be able to offer a premium service, I need to charge premium fees so that I can do everything in the background to make sure that that client gets that service and that standard. So we don't miss cleans. We've got aiming for reliable staffing. We make sure they've got all the best products and tools, that the training is exhaustive, and we don't send people out on cleans until they're really well able to do it and they're working to our standard. So that's why I'm charging premium prices. It's not all about making profit. It's about making sure that you run a business with integrity, with enough money coming in that you can actually really make the business work and at a really good standard. Companies that, run like on a shoestring, they're on a race to the bottom with pricing, then they get bad reviews because they had sloppy staff, because they didn't bother training the staff, because they didn't have the funds to train the staff. Do you see what I mean? It just ends up being a vicious circle of poor quality. And if you want to go high quality, you need to charge premium prices for a premium service. So if there was anything you wanted to troubleshoot on this, because I've actually gone back now to offering consultancy, my email's in the description there. So if you want to pop on a consultancy call to look at how you can price your service, how to set up, in the first instance, I do business planning, and then successive consultations that we'd meet up on. We can go through your action plan and, set action points for going forwards, because one of the biggest issues with going into business, as much as we all want to be our own boss, you don't have anyone telling you what to do. And sometimes you actually need to know what to do, and you need to have a plan, and you need to have a marker in your diary of like, right, I need to get this done by this point. And it really helps. I've had a business mentor for my business, and honestly, she is just worth her weight in gold. She's been absolutely amazing. So I'm offering that again now, and yeah, I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll be posting another video shortly. Take care.